Testing mic 1, 2. Testing mic 1, 2. Good deal. Ready, folks?
Oh, let's do it.
Well, welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Another week of high school football. We are at the end where it's getting crunch time for these teams. The field has shrunk in half. It is getting down to the very best remaining in the state of Louisiana. Folks, it is week 13. It is quarterfinals for public schools. It is semifinal football for private schools. It can't get better. This is one of the biggest weeks in the entire playoffs when you find out who's going to play for that state title and you find out who's going to be in the semifinals from next week. State championships are in 2 weeks, and we are here in semifinals. We will be sending a couple teams from the private schools this week, and public schools will battle it out next week in the semifinals. So you have to be watching for these teams. It's going to be a great week of football. Hopefully the weather doesn't affect any games. We want to see some great football. We want to see some great scores. We want to see some upsets. We want to see a little bit of everything come Friday night. Folks, on my right here, the great man himself, Mr. Gary Swallow. Folks, on my left, the pride of Mamou, Louisiana. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Kenneth Manuel stepping in tonight to make some picks with us. If you're not familiar with his face, just go catch him out of the chips and over there in Eunice, Louisiana.
Oh yeah.
Gary Swallow, you saw a lot of football last week, a lot of football this week. What are you most excited for?
I'm excited to see, who's going to make it for the private school and parochial schools, to see who's going to make it to the finals, because they're going to have a lot of interesting games out there. But I'm excited for the public schools just to see who's going to make it to the semis, because they're going to have some great matchups, and it's going to be hard to pick this week.
Yep. I know you said you was very excited for this week. This is the best week's games where we're going to pick this season besides the state championships. What are you most excied for?
I'm actually excited to see the upsets that's going to happen this week, guys.
Right.
I have a feeling we're going to have quite a few of them this week. Teams that's supposed to have wins are going to go down this week. I can sense it this week.
Yeah. And where is we headed this week? Basile. We were supposed to be in Basile Friday night. Our hearts go out to that team, and it showed us much love, and we showing love right back. But we won't see a quarterfinal game in Basile this week. So where is Under the Lights heading this week? A lot of speculation all week, and we are moments away from announcing where we're going to be at Friday night. So before we get to that, we will go shout outs, and then we will make our announcement of where we're headed. Shout outs, AYS. You can catch them on Facebook, Twitter. They are on Monday through Friday. It's an LSU podcast, all things LSU, and a lot of drama going on around the Tigers right now. So if you want to follow the latest with the Tigers, you can catch out AYS. The Boot Sports, you can check out his website and Facebook page. Also, Right for the Boot Sports, LSU website covers the Tigers and all the sports over there. Go Preps with Mr. Hunter Bauer. He has a website and Facebook. You can go check that out. If you want all things high school sports, go check out Go Preps today. You won't be sorry for it. I want to say shout out to David K. Show in New Roads, Louisiana. Shout out to David K. Just had a birthday not too long ago. Check them out for the near future of their shows on Facebook. Gyro Sports Photography, Mr. Grant Gyro, always doing a great job taking photos in the Punkapi area. Go follow Grant on Gyro Sports Photography on Facebook. Also, we want to say Brothers Just Searching with Isaac and Lloyd out of Brobridge, Louisiana. Brothers Just Searching, a Christian podcast talking about all things the Lord and in the everyday world. So go follow Brothers Just Searching on Facebook and other platforms also. Also, we want to talk about Neil's Electric. If you have electrical problems from around the area, contact Neil Revere today. He will come check you out and hook you up. One of the best guys I know in that field. Ricky Obbs, photography. He's on Facebook. You can find all his work. He's been covering Acadiana and LCA this year, and he's been taking outstanding photos. So go check out Ricky today. Also, we want to mention Cradair's Master Promotions. Cradair's always hooking us up with great hats, always hooking us up with bomb material. So I want to say thank you to Cradair's Master Promotions. You can follow them on Facebook or their websites. And we also want to mention Dutter Boys Lawn Services. Go follow Dutter Boys Lawn Services on Facebook. Always does a great job keeping up with your yard. He comes to take care of yours. He's going to come take care of yours. Cheap prices and a great guy, Mr. Vakeem Morton out of Lafayette. Also, we want to mention the Basile Bearcat Invitational. That is March 6, 2021. That is a fundraiser for Basile and a huge fundraising golf tournament there. Underlights is one of the sponsors for it. So we want to mention Basile Bearcat Invitational. So get with Sam Bacon if you want to get into that tournament. Mr. Gary Swallow, we are at the Tiger Rocks Martial Arts Building here in Opelousas, Louisiana. Let's talk about your business before we make this announcement of where we're headed.
Well, my name is Gary Swallow. I've been in martial arts for over 30 years, and we have a school here in Opelousas and one in Youngsville. And we do classes for men, women, and children of all ages. We start them as young as 4, and we go all the way up until, you can't do it anymore. So hopefully, you come in and get involved. If you're interested for yourself or your children, we'd love to have you. Like I said, we have a school here in Opelousas and in Youngsville. 948-3433 here in Opelousas and 351-1882 in Youngsville. Give us a call. We'd love to have you join our family.
Thank you, Mr. Gary. All right, let's find out where Under the Lights is live streaming this week. And the places could change next week, but this is where we're headed this week. We want to thank the coaching staff for contacting us early this week and allowing us to come cover their quarterfinal playoff game. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are headed to Louisville High School this week for the number 3 Louisville Tigers against the number 6 seed Kinder Yellow Jackets. So thank you, Kinder, for reaching out to us this week, and we can't wait to go cover the Yellow Jackets and Tigers this week. Gary Swallow.
That's going to be an awesome ball game. It's going to be in Louisville, and I know they have a spectacular field. Artificial turf, looking good. Now you're starting to see a lot more high schools have that, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's a beautiful field. A lot of tradition with both of these schools, so I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a game to be seen. Yep.
The only coaching staff that reached out to us this week, so we want to send our thank you to Kinder High School, and because Basile is out the playoffs, and that's what we was leaning towards. But Kinder, thank you again for allowing us to go cover your game Friday. It's greatly appreciated. I know you're excited for that matchup also.
I am, guys. I actually think it's going to be a really good game. I like Kinder's running game in this one, but Louisville's your traditional power lately, man. They can kill you in the pass game and the running game,
And they're playing some good
and they're both playing solid ball right now, man. It should be an entertaining matchup.
Yeah, for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, Under the Lights will live stream the number 3 Louisville Tigers versus the number 6 Kinder Yellow Jackets. So if you have nothing going on Friday night, check us out live at Louisville High School. All right, moving along. Before I get the headlines, y'all have anything you want to say?
No, it's been a great year so far, and we look forward to the ending of it. Unfortunately, we'll be sad once it's over, but we have to go through this every year, and with everything that's been going on, I'm just glad to see it that there's going to be a champion.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree, Gary. I agree with that, man.
All right, headlines from last week and so far this week, we can say. Headlines from this past week. Brother Martin, go-ahead touchdown with 49 seconds left to go, sends them to the semifinals. How about a late touchdown from Brother Martin, sending them to the semis.
Man, I don't even know what to say, but I wish I could have been at a game like that, man, to be honest. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, how about this one? Lake Charles College Prep is heading to the quarterfinals for the second time in 3 years. So, big stepping stone for a brand new school out there in Lake Charles.
That is going to be a great thing to see, and I'm going to tell you, they're playing some good ball. That may be your state champion.
Oh yeah, you could very well be seeing Lake Charles College Prep at the end of the year playing for the title. All right, next headline of the week, Mangum versus Port Allen and Neville versus Minden. Both of those games are moved to Thursday this week, so we will have Thursday night football this week.
Wow.
After those two games were reported, they have moved to Thursday night. So keep an eye out on those two matchups there this week. We have a 4A and a 2A game played on Thursday this week.
Awesome.
All right, we will talk about the Gina Giants, that's correct?
Gina John.
We're going to talk about the Gina Giants for a second. Gina will head to the quarterfinals for only the second time in school history.
Wow.
Also, Gina has 7 playoff career wins, and 5 of them are from the current head coach that's there now.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That's good.
Final note on Gina. Gina held Jules Sumner to 21 yards rushing and 22 yards passing, and had a game-sealing interception with 1 minute remaining to win that second round matchup 8-0.
That was a defensive dominant game right there, man.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's move along with our headlines. Let's talk Bruley Church Point. Penalties play a factor in Bruley game after Bruley had 11 penalties for 105 yards and was shut out at home. So a lot of penalties from that Bruley team is uncharacteristic, where we don't usually see a team like Bruley making 10 plus penalties like that.
Right. That's strange for me, because I mean, I've been following Bruley for a long time, and they're usually pretty sound
Yeah,
on
they're
that.
very disciplined.
That's strange.
And you never know. You preach all the time on bad officiating. You could have had a bad crew that night.
Man, and if I would have been there, they would have heard my voice too, because I just that's one of my pet peeves. I cannot stand bad officiating.
All right, let's talk about an upset from last week. This is how it ended. Did you see how the Centerville Oberlin game ended?
I did.
Well, listen to this, and you might throw a Gary Wow in it. A blocked point after in overtime, a stopped 2-point try in the second overtime lifts Centerville over Oberlin in upset fashion. Final score, double overtime, 42-40. Centerville. What a inning that was.
I can, man. That in itself tells me they had two teams that just didn't want to stop. They wanted it, and it's a shame to see one of those teams have to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's something.
Moving along, game-sealing interception for the Jennings Bulldogs as they escape with a 50-49 win there. Yes, folks, I said 50-49. We watched that one in the parking lot at Haynesville before we headed back home, and what an ending that was.
It sure was, and look who intercepted the ball.
Yep,
again.
Etienne at the end for the game-sealing interception.
That was an offensive game, not a defensive game. That was a pretty good offensive game
yeah.
till the end. The defense but I mean, golly,
Yeah.
they did a 49.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear who they play this week, and you might see the scoreboard break of points.
Might get some numbers going.
All right, Sleeping Giant and John Curtis awakens in playoff road win over Scotlandville. So, folks, if you ever counted out JT Curtis, you better stop doubting him, because he's on a path to go win another state title.
I said this during the year that, John Curtis, everybody kept on saying, why is Curtis playing all of these teams? They played at Acadiana, they played, going and so forth, in the car. And, why did they play these? I said, to build their team up and get them ready for the playoffs. And everybody was like, oh, Curtis is not that good. I said, don't underestimate John T. Curtis. He knows what he's doing. And look, he's on a path to going and getting another state title. That's amazing. Don't ever underestimate John Curtis.
Yeah, you've seen Curtis earlier in the season when they played Acadiana.
I've been watching Curtis for years now, man, and you know, I watched them back whenever they went down to 2A, and they total dominated 2A. You know, it's a little bit different since they've been in this division, but you know, this is where they belong.
Right.
They really belong here. They don't need to be in 2A because, I mean, you basically can just hand it to them every year like that.
Right.
Not to take away nobody else's, you know, programs in 2A. It's just, you know, whenever you're dressing out over 100 kids every year and you got pretty much the best players, around that area, it's hard to beat them, man.
Well, and you got college people that and I hate to say it, they got college scouts that live at Curtis. You know, they always looking, they have talent, and that's just the way it is.
Next headline of the week, how about 5A Alexandra? They advanced to the third round of the playoffs for only the first time since they've been in 5A.
That's amazing.
And you know they've been in 5A for a good while.
Right, they've been quite a long time.
Oh yeah. How about Neville? Does Neville ever lose at this time of the year until deeper into the playoffs? Because Neville advances to the quarterfinals for the 12th straight year. What a dynasty up there.
Neville is Neville. That's how we like to say it. Neville is Neville. They always have you know, they might not win the state championship every year, but they're going to always be in the hunt.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and they're very good ball club, very good tradition.
Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles' big second half from their defense helps the Eagles reach the semifinals, a place they haven't been in a couple years, and they're finally back. They have a huge test in front of them. Can they take down the defending state champs this week? We will find out. How about the Wrecking Rams, folks? Defense dominates for the Wrecking Rams to send Acadiana to the quarters. And we've preached on the offense all year, and now the defense seems like the last 2 weeks they are setting a tone for the rest of the playoffs. Mangum come from behind win in overtime against the Roos. Mangum was down 20-0 to Kentwood, came all the way back and won that game in overtime, 33-27. That's the correct score?
So
2A?
yes, 2A.
Right there. Flip one more page.
Let me see. Where we at this?
Flip one more page. What you got, 33?
Yeah, 33-27.
33-27 overtime. They were losing 20-0 at one point and came all the way back.
Well, I'll tell you the heart of that team right there. You know, being down by 20 in a tough environment like Kentwood.
They were under the water tower, man.
And Kentwood's tough, man, at home. They really are.
When you can take down Faraday and Kentwood in the same season, that speaks volumes for what kind of team Mangum has this year.
It does.
I'd like to, you know, I wish I'd have seen that game because, I mean, for Kentwood to dominate to a 20-0 lead, what were the changes that they made? Man, they had to have basically made some in-game changes that just turned everything around. That had to be awesome. You know, whenever you see a team that's being dominated and all of a sudden the light kicks on and then they just turn it around, that's good to watch.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm a Kangaroo fan, man. I won't lie to you. I've been watching the Roos for years, but man, that must have been a real good turnaround.
All right, next headline of the week. Defending state champs fall in last week's brackets, so we will not see a defending state champ in Division 1 and Class 2A, as Faraday falls and Archbishop Rummel falls. So 2 brand new state champions this week. The other 7 remain in the hunt to repeat. All right, General Trask stuns North Caddo in double overtime. You talk about points scored. Final score in that game was 56-54. So General Trask is that team at the beginning of the year that pretty much said, Evangel, we'll give you your first loss of the season, and they've been a really good team throughout.
I want to congratulate them guys, man, because they've been having a rocky season for a while. It's been years, man, and for them to come out like they're doing this year is just it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
man.
they're smoking. They're hitting on all cylinders right now. They're doing it.
It's awesome, man. So I want to congratulate them, man.
When you see a team that struggles for so long, and when they hit it, it's just so exciting to see. And it's exciting for the kids. These kids working and getting into the program and feeding into it, that's what it is. You got to believe in what you're doing, and I think that they did it real good so far.
That they have.
Yeah.
They have, man.
Manny has a bye in the first round. Manny has a bye in the second round. So back-to-back weeks, Manny moves on in the playoffs because their opponent had caught COVID or something in that nature. And Manny is waiting in the quarterfinals, but who they await, it just got harder. But they had 2 weeks to prepare because they've been sitting at home.
That could be a blessing, but that can be a curse.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How about John Errett, the number 2 seed in 5A? We said at the beginning, did they deserve that top 2 ranking? And they struggled round 1 against Thibodeau.
Right.
And they struggled round 2 against East St. John. And East St. John upsets John Errett in the second round. So down goes number 2. That is one of our the seeds, highest
Nice
seed
seeds.
to go down in this playoff so far.
Right. Crazy.
But how wide open is 5A?
Oh God.
Anybody can get beaten 5A.
It's gonna be interesting.
Last 2 headlines before we get to game picks. It is Episcopal and LCA. Listen how this one finished. Episcopal bobbles the snap on the field goal attempt. The kick never happened. This was at the 2-minute and 40 mark. So LCA wins 14-12. So Episcopal was lining up for a go-ahead field goal with 2 minutes left and bobbled the snap. And that is the rest. You know they just ran the clock out the rest of the way. But how much of a fan, if you're a fan, coach, or a player on that team, how are you feeling about a week later or that night?
Oh, if I was on Episcopal's team, I'd be sick.
Yeah, you have a chance to knock out the three-peat state champions.
Tell you what, a similar thing happened, I want to say it was back in 03, 04 with Mamu. Mamu played Westminster at home in the quarters, and Westminster was lining up for a game-winning field goal. Mamu blocked the kick and ran it all the way back. And that's how the game ended. It's crazy, man. I mean, things happen. I mean, it happens. That's why you got to play into the buzzer ends, man.
That's why they say special teams wins games.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We saw it last week. Punt return for a touchdown.
Yep.
Set the tone for Haynesville.
Sure did.
Last headline of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard, but I'm sure all of y'all have social media and y'all seen it all over Facebook, Twitter, other platforms. The state championships in New Orleans has been moved to Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, Louisiana. So we will see state championship football this year in Natchitoches at Northwestern State. Tell the listeners how many years have you been going to the state championships at the Dome and how this has been you and your son's journey and how it feels to you.
Well, I've been going for 18 years. My little boy's been coming ever since he's 6 months old, man. It's been a wonderful experience. This is only the second time they have to move the game. I think the last time was 05, if I'm not mistaken.
Who was Katrina?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was 05.
Like 05, and they've been having it at the Superdome since 81. So that's a long time, guys. That's before I was born.
That was before I was
born.
high school. Oh, that means I'm old.
It's been a minute, guys. But it'll be a new experience. You know, the the players and the coaches and all these schools, you know, they had to deal with a lot this year with COVID and stuff.
2 hurricanes.
Yes, but at the end of the day, at least they found a destination to play the game, you know.
And
Gary, I know this is our trip every year where we look forward to it. Every year we say we can't wait to go to the Dome. We can't wait to go to the Dome. How much of an impact is it to where we're going to see state championship football in your heart?
well, you know, I'm disappointed because in the fact that the Dome is the perfect place for a state championship. There's no weather situation. There's no advantage or disadvantage. Everything is on an even playing field. And don't get me wrong, they're going to have a very good accommodations, you know, over there in Natchitoches. But when you have the Dome, you have everything set up. You have hotels. You have everything set up. You have everything set up for you to have a great experience.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from Natchitoches, but there's a big difference between Natchitoches and New Orleans. I mean, you know, as far as that, you know, you could always go and sightsee and everything like that. And I mean, and I'm sure, you know, it's done for a reason. I mean, the mayor over there pretty much shut everybody down. And I'm not sure if the governor got involved in it yet, but I know the mayor, I think, was the one that made the decision. I understand what they're doing, but at the same time, New Orleans has everything there. It's the best place to do it. But you know what? We're gonna get through this, and we're gonna crown some champions. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it stinks, but at the end of the day, we're happy the kids get to play
Right.
for a state title anywhere in this state.
That's the most important thing, the kids being able to play for the title.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what is your thoughts on a 4-day state championship picture here, starting on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? 27th through the 30th, you're going to have games throughout the week. People's going to have to work. What is the thinking behind a 4-day event?
Well, my thoughts are logistics. I mean, you got to look at hotels, because I'm gonna tell you, people are gonna work, but these kids and their parents, they're gonna take off. You know, whether it's time off or whatever, they're gonna do it. They're gonna make time to be there. And the true fans that they have, being it's around Christmas, they're gonna already have time off. Because I know some people that are shutting down their companies and giving people, okay, the way it's falling, you get a week off. You know, whatever. So I think it's logistics, because Natchitoches hotels and stuff like that, they probably don't have the capability to have everybody in a 2-day or a 3-day time frame. So it's probably logistics that I would think that caused a lot of that to happen. They've probably been negotiating and thinking about that for a little while. That's probably been their backup plan for a little while. But so they added a day to make it to where, okay, people can come in and watch, but then that way they can go home and then the other people can come in, you know?
Well, could that extra day be, and this is just spare the moment thinking here, could that 4th day be a backup plan in case, let's say, COVID gets involved, where they have an extra day to get that game in?
Might. That's
Is
a
that a
possibility.
stupid thing to think about?
There's a possibility, but I don't think it's gonna happen, because they pretty much made the rule that if you're diagnosed with COVID, you're forfeit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's been in place since the beginning. And you're not gonna be able to go back on that, because what happens if you got teams that are getting there and then somebody gets COVID, but then you had a couple teams at the beginning of the playoffs that developed COVID? Well, so you're gonna punish these but not those? Oh, that's really not good. If you set up some rules, you gotta stick with it, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it that way, but it's only fair.
I think it hurts though, as far as like moving it. It's usually around the 8th, 9th,
Right.
somewhere in there. And it's
Early-
always on
early
weekends.
December, huh?
Right.
Always on weekends.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
That's when it usually
It's
is.
always on weekends, for the most part. I
Yeah,
think the
I
biggest
gotta
thing,
probably take 2 days off now.
yeah, I think the biggest thing, man, is that Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday you said. You know, of course the the players' parents will be there.
The kids will all be out of school already.
Right, it's the fans that are working on the Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, especially like during the day. Like if you have a 12 o'clock game or a 3 o'clock game, a lot of fans that would go just to enjoy these games, that wouldn't for no teams, kinda like me and my son go every year. You know, it kinda hurts those type of people, you know? And I think the revenue is gonna hurt Northwestern a lot more than they think it will, but that's just my opinion. I seen New Orleans had to take in like 500,000 through that weekend. That's why they kinda got away from it. They didn't really feel like they was gonna bring in that kind of money this year because of COVID and stuff, because they were limited to 6,000 fans.
Right.
And I wanna say Northwestern said that, their maximum was 4,200 or 4,600, something like that. So, we shall see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
A lot is gonna unveil in these next week or two before we get down there.
Yes.
So keep out, look out on latest headlines from state championships in Natchitoches. We can't wait to see everyone in Natchitoches. And folks, I gotta find out how I'm gonna take 2 days off throughout that week. You know, you got classes, you probably got work.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be tough to pull this one off this year, but this season has been a tough one with 2 hurricanes and COVID every week. So
Right,
we're battle tested and ready to go.
yeah.
Folks, we are at the time to make some picks now. Folks, this is where we are thinking, this is where we think the matchups will go this week. Don't hold it against us. This is just what we're thinking. If you have a second opinion, then we would greatly love to hear from you. And let's get Class 1A going. And we will start out with the defending state champs at home against looks like a really tough Logansport team here at the 8th seed. Does Logansport give Oak Grove trouble this week, or does Oak Grove cruise to the semis?
I'm sorry, I'm going Oak Grove. I think they're just too strong.
I've been seeing Logansport in the playoffs for quite a few years now. I don't know too much about them, man. I don't know enough about them to go against Oak Grove. I mean, Oak Grove proved themselves lately, man, and they deserve another #1 seed, in my opinion. So I gotta pick Oak Grove in this one too, guys.
Yeah, I'm going Oak Grove myself, and I don't think they will be tested until the semifinal matchup. So who will get to that semifinal matchup? Let's talk about the next 2 pairings here. It is the 5 seed Homer against the 4 seed White Castle. Can White Castle set up a rematch of last year's state championship game in the semis? Or do you feel this Homer team is putting up a quiet resume that is going to go make a run here for the title?
Oh, man, that's gonna be hard. Just looking at them on paper, I have to say that, you know, Homer's putting up some points.
And you got to remember
Yeah.
about when Homer played Haynesville in the regular season
Right.
also.
Right. I personally think that Homer's got what it takes to make an upset, and it's not really a big upset because you got 4 and 5.
Correct.
But man, they just putting up some points. Block was ranked 12th, and then White Castle they kind of struggled with LaSalle. I mean, they only won, you know, it won 26-12. So I'm kind of pushing towards Homer.
You like Homer in this matchup?
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I think Homer is going to win this game. Will it be close? Will it be a blowout? We'll have to find out, but I think Homer moves on to the semifinals this week.
Guys, I mean, y'all got some strong cases right there, y'all really do, but, I mean, I'm gonna go against y'all on this one. I like the athletes at White Castle, they always have really good athletes over there, a lot of speed,
All right.
and until they prove me otherwise, Homer, I'm gonna just go with White Castle on this one, guys.
Gotcha. Next matchup, it is the 3 seed Grand Lake. Saw them earlier this year. It is the 11 seed Centerville. This game will be played at Centerville. Folks, let's just start it off with myself and say upset city. Centerville moves on to the semifinals with a win at home. That is my pick.
Wow. Man, that's, just looking at them, coming off of that great win, can Centerville keep that momentum going? Grand Lake played Delhi, and they pretty much dominated. But,
Remember where the games played at.
yeah, they're playing in Centerville, and Grand Lake has some great athletes, but we watched Grand Lake, honestly, steal a game from Basile.
Yeah.
And so I'm with you. I think I'm gonna kind of push towards Centerville.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be an upset.
Be honest with y'all guys, man, I don't know either one of these teams, so I can't really.
Well, here's a little resume.
Yeah, I mean, I see the resume as far as like who they played and stuff, but
Centerville lost to Hanson Memorial this
Yeah.
year. Grand Lake lost to Oberlin by 2 touchdowns and beat Basile by 1 point.
yeah. I mean, I really wish I could have seen either one of these teams play this year. I mean, you told me they had great athletes at Centerville, so.
Yeah, Centerville got some good athletes, and Grand Lake got a really good quarterback and offensive line.
Yeah. See,
There's decent athletes on both of these teams.
I'll be honest with y'all, man. I mean, I'll go with y'all pick on this one, being that I don't know much about it.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Hey, I'm all for that.
Not a big matchup here. This is a big matchup filling, and it will be the 2 seed East Iberville playing at home against the 7 seed Haynesville. And folks, this one is gonna be something to see. Will it be the Golden Tornado, or will East Iberville be too much at home? And Gary, I'm going to start this one off. I'm going to say Haynesville goes on the road and wins this contest. Remember what I said at the beginning of the year when we was talking playoffs. Haynesville was my pick to get to the dome out of this bracket. So I'm going to roll with Haynesville this week.
I'm going to go against you, man. I think East Iberville is going to come out on top with this one. I think it's going to be close at first, but I think they're going to have too much. I don't know. Basile gave Haynesville, a lot of trouble. They just had some bad breaks. But I'm gonna go with East Iberville.
Kenneth?
I agree with you, Gary. I mean, they did have some bad breaks in that game. The opening possession of that game, they were driving downfield, man, and unfortunately, 4th and short, they came up a little short, and it kind of changed the momentum of that ball game, in my opinion, between that and that punt return.
Right.
But at the end of the day, man, Haynesville and Haynesville, they are a young team, and I really feel like, they're gonna be too much for this East Iberville team, in my opinion. That number six came up in the 4th quarter. He's a good athlete from over there, man. He really is. I really think they're gonna be a little too much to East Iberville. So I'll pick Haynesville in this one, guys.
Okay, that's cool.
Folks, that is the end of the 1A brackets. We will move right along with Class 2A. We're going to start this juggernaut of 2A with the number 1 ranked team in the state of Louisiana, the state runner-ups from a year ago. It is Manny. First time getting to play this playoffs, and the 1 seed has to hit the road and go to 9 seed A-Meet Warriors. What a tough task to overcome here in the quarterfinals. 2 quality opponents meeting early in this bracket. 2 quality opponents that could be ring chasing this year. A-Meet at home or Manny on the road. Who do you like in this contest?
This almost feels like a state championship game, man, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, two quality teams, man, that pretty much been making a run to the dome for a while now.
Yeah.
They pretty much make the playoffs every year and make deep runs. And Meats always got good athletes. You know, everybody knows this. Manning's just manning lately, man. They got a really good program up there. I gotta go with Manning in this one, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Manning, even though, you know, I know it's gonna be a great game. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it goes down to the last minute or two in this ball game, man. But I'm gonna ride with Manning on this one.
And you see me, I think that them being at home and not playing for 2 weeks is gonna affect them, because you look at A-Meat, they beat Capital 54-0, and then they beat Red River 33-7. So they're putting up points and they're getting that momentum, they're getting that swing. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm calling the upset. I think A-Meat's gonna end up winning.
Yeah, Gary, I completely agree with you. I think the #1 team in the state goes down this week. I think A-Meat Warrior and those athletes at the end make a big play on defense and make a big play on offense. I think the Warriors move on to the semis. So,
Don't underestimate A-Meat, man. The Warriors have been around for a long time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
What a matchup we have here between 4 seed St. Helena and 12 seed General Trask. Are you jumping on the General Trask bandwagon, or do you go with the home team here?
I'll be honest with y'all, man. I'm jumping on the upset train this week, man. St. Helena, they struggled against Bonke, and you know, not to take nothing away from Bonke, they had one hell of a season.
Right.
But St. Helena to me has been not St. Helena this year in some fashion, so I'm gonna go for the upset on this one, man. General Trask has been playing ball this year.
Good pick, great pick. I like General Trask myself, and this one may be across the board. Gary, what did you just highlight?
I highlighted General Trask because I'll be honest with you, they have been playing some ball. They have been doing what they had to do. They've been scoring. I mean, golly geez, they scored 56 points against North Cato, and that was a good team. I think General Trask is on a mission, and I think St. Helena is not as good as a #4 seed. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, because if you look at the first week, 28-16 against the 29 seed also.
Right.
But across the board, General Trask, wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, that'd
Trask and A-Meat in the semis.
That would, man.
Fellas, do we want to pick this game behind us, or do we want to just let this one slide?
Hey, I think this is gonna be I think that's gonna be one of the best games of the weekend. Honestly, that's up to you. You the boss.
Kenneth, you want to pick it?
I'll definitely pick it, man.
All right. 3 seed Lorville, 6 seed Kinder. This is where we're headed. Who do we think's going to win? But we're going to call it down the middle. That's for sure. We're not going to be one-sided. We're going to be down the middle for this contest. But who do we think is going to win this contest?
I went back and forth on this one, man. They both great programs, bro. Kinder's been out of it for a while, but I tell y'all, man, Lorville does throw the ball.
Yeah.
They do. And I feel like if Kinder can control the clock with their running game, I'm looking for upset, guys.
You like Kinder?
I like Kinder in this one, guys.
This Kinder's year to get back to the state championship. This is a true test here.
It is.
A big
It
test.
is.
I'm with you on that, man. I think Kinder's gonna, if Kinder can control Lorville's speed, and they're playing on the turf, they're going to be able to win. And Kinder, you might think I'm crazy, but there's just something about Kinder that this year that's been really catching my eye. And you know, like I said, they beat the dog out of Delcom, and then they come back and they beat Avoz. And Avoz must look like they got up on the right side of the bed that week. You know, and Avoz is a good team. Don't let anybody fool you on that. But I think Kinder's got what it takes. I think they really do.
Voices for that game, ladies and gentlemen. Who will be calling the game with myself, since big guy right here can't make it? I know he's heartbroken. Who's going to be calling that game? No, none other Then Mr. Sam Bacon himself is making the trip to
All
Louisville.
right.
So you get to hear the Baconator and the, what is it, the Taylorator? Friday night from Louisville High School. Check out myself and Sam doing play-by-play for that outstanding contest, but I'm rolling with the Yellow Jackets myself.
And I think that's gonna be the best game of the weekend, I'll be honest with you. I think that's gonna be awesome.
All right, folks, last game in 2A, it is 10 seed Port Allen against 2 seed Mangum. Does Port Allen's Cinderella run in this week, or can they slay one more giant?
Man, guys, I tell y'all like this, dude. I would love to go with the Pelicans on this one, man. I mean, I really do. Because I love a Cinderella story at the end of the day. I really do, dude. But I don't feel like they can do this 2 weeks in a row, going away from their own stadium and beating a home team again. I don't see it, man. So I'm gonna go against Port Allen in this one, man. I hate to do it.
Yeah, hate to do it, but you gotta pick with who you think's gonna win the matchup, not with your heart
That's right.
at this point of the season.
You're right.
And that's a great non-heart pick there. Mangum is looking like a state championship quality team.
Right.
I'm with you on that too. I think Mangum's gonna be too much for Port Allen. Port Allen's been living on the edge, you know, as far as other than the first round, you know, the first game. But yeah, man, they upset Faraday, and then that's, so I think Mangum's gonna be too much for them.
Speaking of living on the edge.
Speaking of offense, you better not blink or you might see 50 points on the board from both sides.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got HEN in 3A, the number 1 ranked team in the state, Jennings Bulldogs, led by that high-powered offense that just seems like they average 40 plus a game throughout the season. Do they play defense?
Don't seem like.
You got the 9 seed Madison Prep Chargers coming in, led by Zion Chris, the highly talented junior quarterback. Folks, they score a lot of points themselves. You have 2 outstanding offenses. And I think at the end of the day, hear me out, I think the Chargers play a little bit more defense than the Bulldogs, and Madison Prep with the upset, and I'm going with the Chargers.
Wow.
Yes. But what did I say at the beginning of the year? I said Madison Prep, Lake Charles College Prep in the state championship.
Right. You did.
I gotta go with my pick.
I agree. You got to go with your gut, you know, but I don't see. I think Jennings is going to be too much for him. ATN's going to really put on a show, I think, and you know, I just have a hunch that Jennings is going to make it to the next round.
Either or, I can't wait to see who represents in that semifinal.
You're right.
I like your
Right.
pick too, Jordan, man. And to be honest with you, I mean, Madison Prep is just, they're a powerhouse, dude.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
really are, dude. And it's hard to go against a team like that, man. It
It
really
really
is.
is.
But I'm kind of like with Gary right here. I think they're a team of destiny. You know, I just feel like it's just their year, man.
It's tough to beat Jennings at home.
Right.
Jennings, I mean, not to take nothing away from Jennings, man, their offense is incredible this year. I don't know a team out there that can slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like their defense needs to step up this week.
Yeah.
You know,
'Cause
I really
Most
do, man.
definitely.
I think
Most
Prep
definitely.
can score with them.
I really do, man, because if their defense don't step up this week, I have a bad feeling, you know, it's gonna be
Whichever defense plays better is going to be the winner of this game.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
like
how
I
it
said,
works.
56-50 would be my final score in this one.
it's.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
I really hope Jennings the best in this one, man. I'm rooting for him to go all the way to the finals and win it, man. To be
I'd
honest
like to
with
see
y'all,
that myself.
I would love to see it, but their defense is gonna have to step up from here on out, dude.
So you like the Bulldogs?
I do like Jennings. I do.
Okay. This next matchup, it is John Craig, right? John Craig over there in Church Point?
I think that's it.
Okay. Church Point Battling Bears will play a quarterfinal matchup against the 5 seed defending state champs St. James. Here's a quick note before we get on that pick. Church Point has lost to the state champion or state runner-up 3 years in a row by 1 point. The last 3 years. And Church Point announced last week this was the first time they've ever played in December in school history. Does Church Point ride one of their better seasons into the semis and potentially setting up a Church Point Jennings outstanding semifinal? Or does the defending state champ St. James come in and take down Church Point at Battling Bears Stadium? Who moves on to the semifinals in this matchup?
I got St. James, guys. I tell you why, man. They're playing some of their best ball right now. You know, their defense is stepping up lately.
Yeah.
You know, Church Point, not to take nothing away from them, man. I would love to make one of those picks with my heart because I love what Church Point's doing up there. Man, it's a tough draw for them, man. It really is. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier, you know, this is a team that runs the ball. If they can control the clock, you know, it could be a different outcome, guys. Because Church Point's defense has been playing lights out.
Yeah,
I give them that much.
Well, they prove they can compete.
And it's one of those picks that pains me even pick St. James, to be honest, you know. But I know what kind of programs up there. I really do, guys. And they are playing good ball right now. And so is Church Point.
Right.
It should be an entertaining matchup.
I don't think it's going to be a lopsided score. I think Church Point gives them fits.
It probably will.
But I think St. James will be that much ahead of Church Point. Church Point is there, but they're just not there yet to get over the hump.
I hope they prove me wrong, man. I really do.
I can't wait to find out if they do, but I got to go with St. James in this one.
Hey, see, I'm going with Church Point.
That's a good pick, Gary.
I'm going to go with the Point because, you know, you're looking at these boys that are just, they're hungry.
You were going to go with the Point.
I'm going with Church Point. I think they're hungry. I think they finally, you know, are feeling what it's like to play, you know, late into the year. And I think their defense is gonna shut them down enough. I think it's gonna. That's my opinion.
Track meet.
Yes, but I think Church Point's
Off to the
defense is
races.
gonna be good enough to slow them down.
I hope you're right, bro. I really do, because I'd like to see Church Point and Jennings in the
Church
semis.
Point and Jennings
That
in
would
the
be
semis.
awesome. That'd be awesome. That would be a game I go.
No, don't take this the wrong way. I don't think I'd pick Church Point against Jennings, but I mean, I think it's gonna be man. It's just this time of the year. There's no bad picks.
No,
really.
there's none. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Lake Charles College Prep, number 3 in the state of Louisiana. They're going to play a 11 seed Gina. Gina got a good defense up there. Do they have a good enough defense to stop this high-powered offense of Lake Charles College Prep? It's going to be a big task for the Giants, and I don't know who can slow down this LCCP team this year. I got to go with LCCP until somebody shocks the world and takes them down this year.
I'm with you. Lake Charles College Prep.
That's across the board, guys. You know, I wish Gina, you know, the best of luck. You know, I hope y'all can pull it out, guys, but I just don't see it, man. I really don't. But y'all still had one hell of a season, guys. I mean, no matter the outcome.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
How about this next matchup? St. Martinville still hanging around. They just don't seem to want to go away. They are the 10 seed and they will take on the 2 seed Union Parish. And how about them Farmers? They are playing some damn good football this year. And when you said Union Parish would hang 53 up on Booker T. Washington, I was sold. And I'm going Union Parish at home in St. Martinville, a heck of a run. But the Farmers, they're playing some really good ball this year.
When you put up 53 points on a Booker T. Washington team that I've watched, I actually seen them play Newman. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's some athletes I'm going with Union Parish.
Heck of a tailback over there in Union Parish. You should see his numbers.
I'm sure. I mean, I can't imagine that,
They ain't upset with him.
No, they ain't no upset at this. I mean, I agree with Jordan, though, one hell of a run by St. Martinsville, I mean.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
I mean, like Mr. Gary said, there's no bad teams right now that's still in it,
Ooh.
Anything can happen on any given night, guys, and look what, prime example last week, when, the Pelicans there from Port Island upset Faraday. I mean, it can happen,
When we
but,
saw that score at halftime,
oh, I couldn't believe it.
we thought it was a misprint.
I thought so too, I agree.
Let's go to 4A football. And folks, they have a matchup in here, you're gonna say, that's gonna be a blowout. I ain't gonna tell you which one, but you'll figure it out. Number 1 ranked team in the state, it is the Karen Crow Golden Bears, and Kenneth is not sold on the Bears, Gary. He has not been sold on the Bears this year. Can they prove him wrong the next 2 weeks? That will be a big test. They get Plaquemine this week. Plaquemine comes in as the 8th seed, but they got to come to the Crow Dome.
Yeah.
And Crow Dome, stand up. It is Karen Crow moving on to the semifinals. Let's go Crow.
I'm with you. I think Crow's gonna do it. Now, Blackman's been putting up some points. But I think Karen Crow's well-rounded, and they got some horses, and I think they're gonna just go through it.
Let's go Green Demons.
Green Devils.
Green Devils.
Green Devils. Yeah, I'm with y'all, man. I mean, I'm gonna ride with the Bears on this one. I will, but I'm gonna just say this: Plaquemine ain't a bad ball club.
No.
I would not be shocked if they walk in that dome, that Crow Dome, and upset Karen Crow.
They won't be intimidated.
I'll just be honest, guys. I mean, they got a tough schedule, man, and it gets them ready for games like this.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Karen Crow, but like I said, don't be shocked if it's an upset.
Folks, this next matchup is the 4 seed Neville against the 12 seed Minden. And here's a quick stat, because these two teams are district foes.
Sure.
Both of these two teams play in the same district. Do you want the score from that first matchup?
Sure.
Final score, it is Neville 41, it is Minden 7. And they're gonna meet in the quarters. Do you see Minden at home keeping this one a lot closer than the last matchup, because it is tough to beat a team twice in 1 year, ain't that right?
It is. You're definitely right about that. I'm still going with Neville in this one. I don't feel like it'll be a 41-7 ball game, because Minden has been playing good defense. I mean, obviously they shut down Leesville's offense, and Leesville put up 40-something, I want to say, against Jennings. So, I mean, I'm going to still ride with Neville definitely on this one, but I think Minden will put up a little fight. They're going to scrap it out with them.
Well, what I think is that, the fact that they're district rivals, and they're used to playing at each other's field,
Correct.
That's not gonna be as big of an advantage as most people might think, as if somebody's coming they've never played before from another district and stuff. They're familiar with each other.
Yes.
So I think Neville's gonna, I don't think it's gonna probably be as big of a gap like you said, but I think Neville's gonna dominate this game.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, it is the 3 seed Tioga. It is the 6 seed Warren Easton. Can Warren Easton set up a rematch of the state championship in the semis? Or does Tioga have one of their better teams this year? Tioga, Warren Easton, tough pick to make or an easy pick to make, Kenneth?
I mean, I don't like to use the word easy. I really don't. But Tioga traveling all the way to New Orleans to meet a team that battles it out with Core every year.
Right.
I just don't.
The game's at Tioga.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, they got a store on Warren Easton. That's why I said that.
Oh, it could be
Is that
Warren Easton.
Easton?
Is that Easton?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, traveling way up there, man, and dealing with those athletes, I think Warren Easton's a little too much, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I think, you know, I think Tioga's putting up points and doing what they have to do, but man, Warren Easton is just, they're just a juggernaut. And they, like you said, they play in with all of those New Orleans teams, and they play them every year, and they said, man.
Yeah.
So I think Warren Easton's going to end up winning. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm going with Warren Easton myself. Heck of a defensive line I saw Saturday. I watched the game at Tiger Stadium on the iPad whenever them and Landry Walker were battling. And could you believe it was 0-0 going into the end of the first quarter? Next thing you know, it's 50-something to 0. So that's how you know they turned it on, folks. So I like Warren Easton myself. Folks, it is the Eunice Bobcats at home against the 4-time in a row state champs of Edna Carr, who is on quest to 5-peat this year. Eunice Bobcats, last week, they shut out Belle Chase at Belle Chase 35-0. The week before that, they get their revenge against Bastrop at home 36-0. So back-to-back weeks, we see this team shut out two opponents. Folks, they will not shut out this opponent this week. This team hung 70 points last week on the Strummer, and I think Eunice will come out inspired, ready to go, and they will be excited for this matchup, excited for the task, excited to try to knock off the 4-peat state champions. But I think those athletes in the end will be the difference maker. Eunice is going to have to pass, have to hit a big pass or two to just keep Carr out the backfield because they're going to put 10 in the box all night.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is Carr. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be, which Sam said, 70-21. But I think it could be around the 40s to 20s range this week. But I'm going with Carr.
I'm with you. Well, first of all, I think Edna Carr is going to win in a rout. I think it's going to be very one-sided. But I think Eunice is going to come out inspired, and they're going to want to play good and this, that, and the other. But once Edna Carr gets rolling, you're going to see a big, say like me, the balloon's going to burst, and they're going to get deflated. I think Edna Carr is going to win. If they don't win by 3 or 4 touchdowns, I'll be amazed. So I'm sorry, Eunice. I mean, Eunice is a big, I love them to death, but I have to go with Edna Carr.
Yeah, first off, man, I want to congratulate Eunice, man. I mean, they dealt with COVID this year for a while, they had a lot of unlucky breaks in a couple of games. Man, y'all played one hell of a season, man. Jumping up from 3A to 4A is a little tough, man. Eventually, once you get to the quarters on up, it gets a little tough in 4A. And unfortunately, you're in one of those brackets where you got 2 teams on the same side of your bracket that done met up at the Dome, 3 times in a row, 2 times in a row? Carr's just a powerhouse, man. I mean,
4A runs through Carr.
It really does, guys. I wish y'all the best, guys. Y'all go out there and y'all give it y'all all. And
if they do upset Carr, we all taking shots at Chips.
Yes, y'all definitely come to Chips, and I'll definitely have y'all a shot ready, brother. Definitely have y'all a shot ready.
Because the town will burn. They will burn the town down if that happens.
But y'all got a strong fan base, guys. They're gonna be rooting for y'all. Everybody around the area is gonna be rooting for y'all. So y'all give them hell, man. But I'm gonna go with Carr on this one, man. I don't like going against Eunice. I don't. I wish y'all the best, guys.
Anybody can get beat on any given day.
They can.
Right.
So we're rooting for the Bobcats
We are.
this week. All right, folks, it is the 5A brackets, and we're going to start off with, I think, is an outstanding matchup. I think this is a great matchup on paper.
Right.
Will it be a great matchup on the field? That is something that we have to wait and see. Will this be the Acadiana team that showed up in the first half against Catholic of Baton Rouge? Or will this be the Acadiana team that we're so used to seeing? Will this Mandeville team keep rolling like they have been? They haven't been slowed down in a long time this season. They've been putting up numbers week in and week out and have not really been in a dogfight in a while. So it is the 1 seed Acadiana, it is the 8 seed Mandeville, and I hate that this is a quarterfinal matchup.
Right.
I hate it. But it is Wrecking Rams versus Skippers. No hard feelings on both sides. We're just going with who we think is going to win the game. Kenneth, you're a Wrecking Ram fan. What are you thinking in this matchup?
Well, I mean, really and truly, man, Mandeville, I think they should be higher in seed.
Yeah.
I really
Completely agree.
don't. I really don't feel like they're 8 seed. I mean, to me, that's a top 5 seed team. You know. I haven't really watched anybody that passed the ball on Acadiana. Like most of the teams that I watched Acadiana play this year, they ran the ball.
Yeah.
And when they finally played somebody that passed the ball, they lost. They did. Will I go against them? No, I won't. Because, I mean, I love Acadiana, man. You know, I just love watching them. They're just so crisp on offense, man, and they just make things look easy, man.
You know, that's what Mandeville does.
They do. And
Very.
it's going to be a great game, in my opinion. I think it will be. But like I said, I just feel like, you know, I haven't watched Acadiana play too many teams this year that passed the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't at the game. I think y'all guys win. So not me. You win.
For which one you talking about?
For the Acadiana Catholic back.
Yes, we were there.
And I mean, how did that turn out as far as like passing the ball, like Catholic? I mean,
They like that shotgun,
They do.
those screens and bubbles
Right.
and quick passes.
Right.
But they caught Acadiana looking in the backfield on the stop and go one time.
Yeah.
Late. That was the dagger.
Yeah, that was the dagger because they came back and tied the game, and then it was that killed them.
We'll just have to see, guys. But I mean, I know Mandeville always, you know, they always put a good team on the field, man. I think it's one hell of a matchup. I would love to watch that game this week also. But I'm gonna go with the Wrecking Rams in this one, man. As a matter of fact, I got Wrecking Rams all the way to state, man. I really do.
And you know, I agree with you on that 100%. But this is the thing that I'm not familiar that much with Mandeville, but I haven't seen anybody stop Acadiana really. You know, as far as ball control, you know, pounding the ball, doing what they have to do, controlling the clock. That's where I think Acadiana's gonna come out on top. So I'm going with Acadiana. You know, yeah, you might be able to score quick and stuff, but if your offense stays on the bench and we keep pounding the ball, you know, you're not gonna do that. So I'm going with Acadiana to win this in a good game, but I think Acadiana's gonna come out on top.
Yeah, I think if Acadiana doesn't turn the ball over this week, then they will win the game. But if it's a turnover fest, then Mandeville has a good shot to win this game. But I'm going with the Wrecking Rams at home in this contest because we've been saying Acadiana to repeat this year. So we're going with Acadiana in this one also. All right, fellas, it is Destrehan State runner-ups. It is Ruston. Surprise seed here from a damn good Ruston football team. And I'm going to say it is going to be Ruston Acadiana semifinal matchup. Book it. Ruston upset Destrehan.
I don't see how Ruston can be 13th seed. I mean, that's just, you know, I'm sorry. We watched them, and I'm going to tell you right now, that team is better than the 13th seed. So I'm with you, Jordy. I think Ruston's going to, you know, and then they're playing at home.
At Ruston.
I think Ruston's gonna upset them. I think it's gonna be Ruston over Destrehan, and I think it's, you know, I think it's gonna be a rematch, you know, in the semis. Yeah.
I'm looking for a rematch too, guys. I'm gonna go with Rustin in this one, and note, they got their star tailback back.
Yes,
Correct.
That didn't play against Acadiana, so that ought to be fun. If this matchup happens in semis, they'll have their star tailback back this time.
Correct.
It'll be very interesting, man. But yeah, I'm with y'all, man. I'm with Mr. Gary. I find they got them a little too high, too low in the season.
Right.
You know,
That's the
13,
same
that doesn't make any sense.
That's the same thing with Madison Prep we just talked about earlier.
Right.
Two
Yes.
Right.
teams that deserve top 5.
Oh, yeah,
Most
definitely.
most definitely, most definitely.
All right, it is the Zachary Broncos against Alexandria. We talked about Alexandria earlier. First trip to the quarters in 5A, and they get a tall task ahead of them. They get Coach Brew and those Broncos,
Right.
and it's gonna be at Zachary. So I'm thinking it is Zachary at home. I think Alexandria does not get to the semis, but do the panel feel differently? I will turn things over to them. I like Zachary.
I'm with you. I think Zachary's gonna win. I think so first of all, Zachary's got tradition and everything, and I love watching those boys play. So I think it's gonna be Zachary.
Man, to be honest, man, I know you always say don't go with your heart. I really do like it. I think they're the Trojans, if I'm not mistaken. Alexandria Trojans, if I'm not mistaken. They've been right there, you know, for a while now.
Right.
Even though it's gonna be across the board, it's gonna. I'm not gonna let my heart get in this one, but I really am rooting for Alexandria in this one, because I really think that they deserve to move on and, you know, possibly get to the finals. You know, I want to see them play West Monroe again, because that game happened this year already. It was a defensive battle, and, you know, I would love to see that. You know, I want to see somebody new, you know, and I really think that they deserve of it, you know, so we'll just have to see, but I'm going to go with y'all guys. I'm going to go with the Broncos in this one.
Tell me something, guys. If we all picking Zachary, well, who do we think Zachary is going to play in the semifinals? Will East St. John continue their quest of upsetting teams? Listen to their resume. Upset of Woodlaw Baton Rouge first week. Upset of John Eric the second week. And now they get West Monroe, the 10 seed. We talk about teams not deserving seeds. Here's another one you can throw out saying West Monroe's a 10 seed. You just don't see it. But how about East St. John and the run they're having? Can they upset one more team to get to that winner play-in game to the state championships? I'm gonna go off and say, since week 1, we haven't seen West Monroe slip up. And I don't think West Monroe slips up in this one. I think West Monroe at home in the quarters sets up a date with Zachary in the semis. And I think those two teams are semifinal teams in this bracket.
Well, I agree, you know, because East St. John, that Woodlawn game, that wasn't really, I don't consider that an upset because they were so close as far as evenly matched. They were, 15 and 18. The John Eric upset, yes, but that was, look how close they were as far as game. And John Eric, they just got up on the wrong side of the bed. They just didn't play worth a flip. But they're playing against West Monroe. And I told you this whenever we started doing this year. West Monroe lost the first game of the year. They got shut out. That doesn't happen. You have woken a sleeping giant. And they ain't going to be shut out this year. No, West Monroe is going to win. I have no doubt in my mind. Now, like I said, I may be wrong, but I see West Monroe winning easily.
I'm with y'all on West Monroe, man. I know East St. John. I know a little bit about them. They do. They play in the same bracket as I want to say Destrehan and Honville.
Right.
And y'all know that they always got good athletes at both of those schools. East St. John, I think they'll come out and make it a game at one point. But I just feel like West Monroe's defense, man, they playing on another level, man.
Right now, they're playing well.
They are, and it's hard to go against West Monroe any year, much less, you know. But we shall see, guys. I mean, I would love to see that matchup too, like y'all was saying, Zachary and West Monroe.
Alrighty, we are moving along to the Catholic school playoffs, and we're gonna kick things off in the Division I playoffs. Folks, it is semi-final playoffs this week. Somebody is heading to Natchitoches this week. Who is gonna punch their ticket to the state title game? Those times and dates will be announced soon, so keep an eye out on those times. But it is Division I. Who's punching their ticket? Let's start off with our two semifinal matchups. It is number 1, Brother Martin. It is number 4, Catholic of Baton Rouge. Does Brother Martin finish off this playoff undefeated in the regular season, undefeated, and go into the title game to try to finish off a perfect season? Or is Catholic of Baton Rouge peaking at the right time with a big win over Acadiana and a big win over defending state champs Rummel? Can Catholic of Baton Rouge knock off one more giant on their quest to be crowned state champs this year? It is Brother Martin, it is Catholic of Baton Rouge. It does not get any better than that. Kenneth, you want to kick this one off?
I sure will, man. Catholic has been playing ball, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so has Brother Morton. This is like a dream matchup, man, to be honest, guys. This is almost like a state final game.
Yes.
Brother Morton, you know, they haven't won their better years in a very long time, man. Catholic has beaten state title, you know, championship teams. I mean, they have beaten Rummel, they have beaten Acadiana, along with some other teams in there. I think they lost by 1 to STM this year.
They lost by 1 to STM.
Okay, so I mean, this team has been playing like top-notch teams all year long. Brother Morton, on the other end, they played John Curtis earlier, and I want to say they won that game by a couple points or whatever.
They beat John Curtis.
I'm gonna roll with Brother Morton in this one because I feel like them and John Curtis are gonna meet up again. I do.
Wake it up!
I really do. I think it's gonna be them and Curtis in the state final, and which would be one hell of a matchup.
Right.
How about that, folks? He goes with the undefeated Brother Martin football team to go to the state title game in an unfamiliar season down there in Natchitoches with COVID all over, hurricanes this season. This is one to remember when you look back on 2020.
You're right.
Can Brother Martin be that team that says, don't forget about us, we want to be the new team to represent Division I?
Right.
Guess what, Gary? I'm going Brother Martin at home to get to the state title game.
Guess what, Jordy? I'm with you, brother. I done highlighted it in there. Oh, yeah.
Brother Martin
Brother
across
Martin.
the board, Catholic of Baton Rouge, will give them hell, though. You should expect fireworks in that one. Next semifinal game, folks, it is undefeated Bird against, like I said, the sleeping giant, John Curtis. Does Bird set up a all undefeated state championship game? And Brother Morton Bird just sounds right because we always beg for new teams. Curtis going for their 20-something, 30-something state title this year. Folks, I will not pick John Curtis in this matchup. I am going with Bird to get to the state title game to face Brother Morton. And I want to see this matchup in person because I can't wait to see new teams play.
That's not a bad pick, Jordan. I'll be honest with you, dude. Bird's defense all year long, and I've seen it, you know, all throughout all this year, man. They are solid, man.
Right.
It would not shock me if they beat John Curtis. I would just love to see Brother Morton and Curtis play for that rematch,
yeah.
you know, a rematch game. They got the team to beat Curtis. I'll be honest with you, they really do.
This will be at Bird.
And you know, Bird runs the ball. You know, it's gonna be a grind. Yeah, it's
So
going
New
through
Orleans
Shreveport.
to Shreveport.
Yeah, so it's gonna be one of those grinded out games. They both run the ball exceptionally well. It's gonna be a grind, man. But I'm gonna go with Curtis in this one, man. I will.
It's not a
Well,
it's not a pick that you could say you go wrong.
No.
but you read my mind, because we were talking about that earlier. I told Jordy, I said, John T. Curtis is positioning himself to, you know, for the playoffs. That's why he's playing all these people.
Mhm.
I think John Curtis is gonna do it. I think they can call it an upset. John Curtis is not a 7 seed.
I hope Friday night we are recapping, and I say Bird heads to Natchitoches. Wouldn't that be something?
It would be.
Oh, it would be, and you know what? I wouldn't, I wouldn't feel bad about it, because they're good. They are a great ball
They
club.
are. They really are.
But, you know, you have the University of John Curtis that's been consistent for all of these years
Oh, yeah.
and got the tradition, and they got a good ball club.
Oh, yeah.
What I'd love to know is if Bird got that same tailback back from last year, because I watched them play Houghton whenever I was close to Minden. I watched Bird and Houghton play, and that running back, let me tell you guys, he's like 6'2", 6'3", and he gotta be 245, 250. He's huge.
Well,
He's
Bird,
huge.
the Bird got their revenge this year over St. Aug. St. Aug knocked them out the playoffs last year, so Bird knocked them out of the playoffs this year. So can Bird run the table and meet up with Morton? That would be the test, but we wouldn't be sad with the Catholic Baton Rouge John Curtis matchup either.
No.
You're right.
So Division I is anybody's ball game there. Division II state playoffs, here's the semifinal matchups. Will we see a repeat state championship here? I'm wondering if y'all feeling the same way I'm feeling. So let's see. Will these two teams be back in the state championship? De La Salle, E.D. White, does De La Salle get back for their chance for another title?
De La Salle gets back, guys.
Easily.
Yeah, I agree, Gary.
Easily.
I think they route this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
How about this next matchup? It is the defending state champs St. Thomas More gonna be playing U-Lab. University Lab comes into Lafayette. Folks, this is your state title game, in my opinion. The winner of this matchup will represent Division II when they host the trophy, whatever time period that may be when we find out. But now we pick a state champion.
Until somebody proves me wrong with STM, man, I mean, I'm with the Cougars all the way, man. I think this is gonna be a great game, though. Like, really great game.
I'm with Jordy. I think this is gonna be the state championship game. I'm pulling for, towards St. Thomas More, because in order to beat a man, you gotta beat the man. But if anybody can do it, I think University can. They're playing some real good ball, but I'll give the edge to St. Thomas More.
Yep.
Well, how about St. Thomas More across the board? Because we want Acadiana Parish go and represent in Natchitoches in 2 weeks, correct? We want
All
St.
Acadiana.
Thomas More, Acadiana, LCA, Karen Crow all to be there. So all of Acadiana can make the trip.
You're right. Shut down the parish. We going up north.
Let's move on to Division III, and this was supposed to be an easy pick, and then your star-studded all-around player goes down with injury last week. Does he play in this game this week? That will be the huge question mark. Gary, we've been to Newman High School and we've seen that field, and what a beautiful campus
Right.
they got over there in Newman. I
Just
think
claustrophobic.
I think Arch Manning is maybe a year or two away from leading this grainy team to a state title.
Right.
So I think this is gonna be LCA in a defensive showdown in this contest. I think that, LCA's defense rises up on the road in New Orleans.
I'm with LCA too on this one, but I gotta disagree with the whole defensive thing. I have a feeling LCA is gonna go in here and win this game by at least 3
Did they
touchdowns.
get their starting
I really
quarterback
do. I feel it.
I think so.
Did they get their starting quarterback back? LCA.
I'm not too sure, man.
So starting quarterback might be still down and your best
I'm not
player
too
might be still down.
I still feel like they go up there and they win by 3 scores. I really do. I mean, Newman, I mean, I've been,
28-14, was that's a reasonable score?
yeah, it is. I just feel like Lafayette Christian is gonna go up there and they're gonna totally dominate that game. I do.
Definitely gonna dominate the line of scrimmage.
Well, I said it earlier, to beat a man, you gotta beat the man, and the man in this division has been Lafayette Christian.
That little number on the side of Lafayette Christian should be where it is on Newman's.
Right.
I don't feel like Newman is a 1 seed. I don't.
Well, you look at the semifinal matchup, you got the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5, okay? And it's like, I'm sorry, Lafayette Christian is not a number 5 seed.
No.
I don't care what division you're in, there's just no way.
I mean, look how, Episcopal played Lafayette Christian, and look, Episcopal is a 4 seed.
Most definitely.
So.
So moving along in our next semifinal matchup, it is 2 seed state runner-ups from a year ago, St. Charles, against 3 seed Notre Dame Pioneers. We talked about Acadiana shutting down and heading up to Natchitoches. Well, how about you take Acadia Parish with them, and we send Notre Dame up there to go play a state title game against LCA?
Rematch.
Wouldn't that be something to be represented that way in the first time in Natchitoches?
You right. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I think they can do it. I think I'm gonna pick Notre Dame on this.
Good
One.
pick.
I'm going with Notre Dame because I think they're gonna come out, and I think we're gonna have a Lafayette Christian and Notre Dame rematch for the state championship.
I totally agree, Gary. I do. I'm with the Pios on this one.
Shut down Acadia.
And to be honest with y'all guys, I'm a Pios fan. I really am, man. I hope that they have this rematch with Lafayette Christian, and
It's hard to beat somebody twice.
it is, and I'll be rooting for Notre Dame, in the state title game if they make it,
Folks, it is time for our final bracket of the night, and I think this is one of the most, how can I say this, the most look forward to matchups I have on this bracket.
Right.
These matchups here are outstanding. These matchups right here, I cannot wait to see the results. I am so excited for Division IV playoffs.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
Oh, yes. It starts out Friday night, 7 p.m. from Calvary Baptist High School. We have the number 1 ranked team, Calvary Baptist, taking on the number 5 ranked team, Southern Lab. You have 2 outstanding programs here battling out for a spot in Natchitoches in 2 weeks. The Southern Lab go on the road and beat Calvary Baptist and take that trip again in 2 weeks all the way back up north? Or does Calvary Baptist win at home and sit comfortably for 2 weeks and just take the short drive over there to Natchitoches?
Cavaliers too much, man. They're gonna be taking that short drive.
Yeah,
Oh,
Calvary Baptist.
yeah.
Tell you that.
Most definitely.
We hyped it up for a minute, don't we?
Yeah, it sounded good.
Oh, yeah.
Now this next one is gonna be my interesting one.
Folks, 7 p.m. Friday night, live from Screaming Eagle Country. Can Vermilion Catholic do something that only Oak Grove could do this year and beat this outstanding defending state champion ball club of a Wichita Christian. Does VC have enough at home, not in front of a packed crowd, but on their home field, knowing this is their final game for their seniors at their home field, and they could send their seniors off to Natchitoches to play for a state title? VC, OC, who wins this matchup? Does OC continue their quest for a repeat, or does VC say, don't forget about us, we are going to look at the lights in Natchitoches?
I would like to see Vermilion Catholic represent that side of the bracket in the state championship game. I would love to see it. I would love to see that, the Screaming Eagles. I would love to see them back in the dome, man. But I just think Washita Christian's too much, guys. I really do. They struggle with St. Frederick opening round, you know, 15 seed. Or was that the second round?
Yeah, no, first round.
First round, yeah.
Second round,
They
didn't do too good.
I mean, they struggled, man. Second round, they slowed down a really good, you know, Riverside team. You know, maybe they come out and play the best game of the season, you know. But I'm gonna ride with Washita Christian in this one, man. Even though I'd love to see BC in state championship game.
Gary, Swallow, do they shut down Vermilion Parish and send the Screaming Eagles to the state title game?
No.
No.
Not gonna happen. I think Washita Christian is too strong. They're, you know, defending champions. They have a lot going on. I do not see that happening. I think it's gonna be close at first, but I think, Washita Christian comes out and, you know, pulls away towards the end. And I'm looking forward to a Calvary Baptist Washita Christian final.
Who's going to slow down number 11, the really, really tall, good quarterback for a Wichita Christian this week? Who's going to slow him down? Because you know he's full head of steam whenever he takes off running.
You're right.
So, final pick of the night, folks. It is a Wichita Christian. It is a Wichita Christian, and it is going to be a Wichita Christian, but they will not repeat this year. That is my mic drop.
That'd be a good game, though.
That is.
That'd be one of the better games.
Washita Christian and Calvary
That'd be a
Baptist.
hell of a game, guys.
Folks,
Right.
it has been fun. It is going to be an outstanding week of playoff matchups. Somebody's punching their ticket this week. Somebody's going to be setting up a semifinal matchup next week. Who's it going to be? You're going to have to check back with us Friday night for our recap show. We will be live from Louisville High School for the number 3 ranked team in the state. Louisville against the number 6 seed Kinder. Folks, one of these locals will be in the semifinals next week.
Right.
And one of them we sadly have to say goodbye to.
Right.
So that is all the time we have. Final words, Kenneth and Gary, before we shut this baby down.
Well, I mean, I just want to say best of luck to all the area football teams, man. Y'all go out there and give it all y'all hearts, man. You know, not many teams make it this far, man. So look at it as a privilege and go out there, represent y'all towns like y'all need to do. Play inspired football, and you know, best of luck, guys, man. You know, we're gonna be rooting for all the locals to make it up there to Natchitoches this year. So, yeah, good luck, guys. I'm going to leave it to Gary.
Well, I'm going to agree with you 100%. We're going to be pulling for all of our local teams, Acadiana area and a little bit beyond. But at the same time, we got to understand that you can only have one champion in each. And, you know, the kids that are playing, you guys strive, you know, to be the best. Work hard and let the chips fall the way they may. You know, it'll happen if it's meant to be, but you're going to have a lot of support around you. So good luck to everybody.
Best time of the year is right around the corner. We look forward to state championship football a whole year in advance, and we are weeks away. We will not be in the dome this year, but we will not let that break our spirits. Folks, we will head up north and go party it up in Natchitoches, Louisiana. I guess we have to see some goddamn Christmas lights this year. And watch some state championship football. I know Holly's excited for it, and we might have it out whenever she wants to go see lights and I want to go get to the dome 2 hours, get to
Stadium.
the stadium 2 hours early.
Yeah.
But that is all we have. Have a great rest of the week, folks. My name is Jordan Taylor. This was Kenneth Manuel, and this was Gary Swallow. We will check back in Friday night. Have a good one, folks, and always, God bless.